I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Rockyroosterboy. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are things on your end of the world?
Good. Today in Australia, it is 3 or 4 p.m. on a Friday today. Yeah.
Yeah. Here it's midnight on a Friday, and we actually do have warm weather for the first time in quite some time, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's good to be able to talk with you today. If you could introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Rockyroosterboy. I am a Australian PNG super from Queensland, and I do mainly horror, but a lot of variety content on Twitch mainly.
What brings you to the horror stuff? Have you just always been a person who gravitates toward the horror stuff?
It's always been a thing of when I was younger, I did watch quite a bit of horror. And I've been into a lot of horror stuff ever since then, when I was really young. Into originally FNAF, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you rather have a horror game or horror film or whatever you're into that has the quick jump scares all the way through, or one that plays with a long scare?
I would rather quick jump scares all the way through but they need to be specifically placed at points when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, not ones that are really obvious where you hear the music playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, something's going to happen now. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. Would you rather, given the quality of some of these that have come out recently, do an indie horror game or one from the big companies?
I would actually prefer indie a lot more because you have stuff like Repo, Lethal Company, stuff like that now. Over something big like Phasmophobia, I would definitely prefer indie horror.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing to watch that the independent guys seem to have no restraints or when they're making these games, so they can come up with something new and not have to run it through a committee.
Exactly. It's great, all of the new horror stuff that's going out. Everybody seems to be really enjoying it at the moment. So
yeah, that's it. So what are you playing right now on stream?
On stream mainly at the moment, it's been a lot of co-op games with a few IRL friends on stream, and then it's been a few gacha games mainly. The reason why I haven't been leaning towards horror more recently is because of the fact that the horror games that I usually play, all the new ones, you need people to play with. So
okay. Yeah, you need to have more than one person running around getting chased and hung on hooks and that type of thing.
Exactly.
I think if I played a lot of horror games, I would end up on the hooks most of the time. Even if there weren't hooks, I would find one to be hung up on. I wouldn't be very good at it at all. But gacha games are kind of the opposite of horror games. So how does that fall into the same hand here?
For me, gacha games, I mainly play them for the story. I've been playing them ever since the big ones being Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact came out a couple years ago, before COVID when that happened.
Yeah.
I've been playing them since that, and more recently it's been Zenless Zone Zero that I've been really hooked to recently.
Yeah. When that first came out, I saw a lot of people playing it, and then I didn't see it for a while. I was kind of surprised by that, but is it comparable to the two that you mentioned before, or has it got its own thing going on?
Zenless has a very different story compared to, or gameplay in general compared to Honkai Star Rail and Genshin.
Hmm.
Um, it it's more of a open world. It's not open world. That's another big thing. Um, and it's kind of set in like an arena where when you fight with your characters, it's set in an arena,
Mm.
and it's an urban fantasy JRPG. So it's not a role playing game.
Ah, okay. Okay. So it is. I think a lot. There might be a section where a lot of people went into that thinking it'd be along those lines, and maybe once they found out about it, they didn't stream it as much or along those things. But it seemed like it really had a nice burn there at the beginning, and we didn't see so much about it afterwards. But so is it the storyline that gets you, or is it the gambling gotcha thing that gets you?
For me, I do dabble into the gambling gotcha bit quite a bit, but when I play like free to play. I don't
Yeah.
spend any money on gotcha games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You will lose
so for
everything.
me,
You'll lose
for
everything on that
me,
type of stuff. That's
yeah, for, for me, it's just a factor of like I play the game, I get the in-game currency to gamble with, and then I use it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just a factor of for me, it's the story really hooked me.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other gotchas that get you, or just that one?
Zenless has been my main one for a while. I do sometimes play Honkai Star Rail, but that's another one that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of the new ones I haven't tried as much, but Zenless has been my favorite at the moment. Yeah.
Wow. So the games that you like to get more people in and involved, um, the horror games that you'd like to get a bunch of people and keep it going. If you had one that you were going to be able to choose and do a good series with, what would it be?
Um, for me, I've really been wanting to try and get a lot of people in for like Repo
Mm.
on stream
Yeah.
because I think that would be chaotic and really fun to play.
It does look like it's chaotic. It has a lot of the elements of the other genre games because I guess we can call it a genre now because there's a few of them
Yeah,
along those lines. But it has a little extra stuff to it that does put it kind of separate from the rest.
yeah,
I mean it does the ability to frequently kill your other people is pretty nice.
exactly. It's really fun to play, in my opinion. Like it can be so chaotic and so fun. It's crazy.
It's pretty amazing that you're able to do this online. And if you wanted to get a few people and stream it, you could probably find it pretty quickly. I mean, there's plenty of people who are playing it, and so many people now all over the world that you can team up with.
That's the other thing. Like a lot of the time, for some people, when it comes to collabing for a big thing like that, it usually tends to be time zones.
Hmm.
But for playing a game like that, it's a really quick game. You load in, you grab stuff, you get out. It can be really quick sometimes. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's not
it's not that tough to put
that
together. Yeah,
not
yeah,
that tough to put together. Yeah.
yeah. Well, there seems to be a lot of Australian VTubers these days. I mean, have you found that to be true?
Oh boy, yes I have. What I've been calling it the Australian takeover whenever it comes to new PNG tubers from Australia, new VTubers coming from Australia. Whenever we appear, same thing with New Zealand.
Yes.
Anywhere with the Australasia side of the world,
Yeah.
I usually I like to call it the Australian takeover because there's a lot popping over. Like there's a lot popping up
Yeah.
a lot more recently. So
But I think that's wonderful. I mean, I would love to visit down there sometime and just see what's going on. But I mean, at this age right now, I'm lucky to be able to get around the street. But the fact that it just blossomed there in a way that so many people have taken to it and got their regular schedules and go, it's not really the easiest time zone to get an English audience, though, is it?
Not really. The biggest problem with it is since Australia and New Zealand are so close to places like Japan,
Mm-hmm.
usually a lot of your audience will mainly be Japanese unless you're streaming really late for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, for me, I usually stream pretty late for my time zone, but when I stream earlier, it usually tends to be a lot more of the Asian folks in Japan and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Philippines have a lot too. They have a lot of folks in there, and
Yeah.
Malaysia and Singapore. But that's actually even that's still not in your time zone at all. You guys got some wild time zones down there. But I say as we're talking now, uh, we're actually 16 hours apart from each other, which is
Yeah.
strange to imagine. But you imagine somebody like me in the 80s in radio, I wouldn't be able to talk to anybody like this because it would cost $1 million because the phone company liked to charge. It would have been over the phone, so it would have been sounded garbagey there too, and I would have been fired for spending that much money.
Exactly. Like now we have stuff like Discord,
Yeah,
which connects everyone.
yeah, which is pretty amazing. Have you enjoyed yourself with with uh, uh, the ability to kind of expand your horizon with this medium?
I have enjoyed it like a lot. Main reason why I've enjoyed it so much is because when I first started, I found my people.
Mhm.
My people being two people that you have actually interviewed before.
Yeah, go ahead and mention them.
The Velociraptor.
Oh yes,
You
yes,
you interviewed them.
yeah,
Jazz actually made my PNG.
yeah. As a
So
there's something else. I'll tell you. Once you meet them and talk to them, you don't forget them. That's for sure. Um, they
genuinely though, they are some of the best people I've met more recently.
yeah, yeah. They're a lot of fun. Hey twins, give them a quick shout.
Hi,
Yeah.
hi. If you guys see this, hi.
There, it's great to be able to make those types of connections, and um, without this, it would have been very tough to do. I mean, we had when the internet was just kicking up, we had chat, typed chat, not the same, not at all.
That room, yeah.
It really been tough, and this really makes the world very small. Um, but it's not in you've got like 12-hour difference between yourself and Europe. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be terrible. I mean, if you could stay up like 11 o'clock at night, they're 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You can pull something off like that, I imagine. It's you have to be really creative though.
Yeah.
And
Doing collabs in any medium is difficult sometimes, especially if it's across the world.
yeah, yeah, and but I'm still amazed that there isn't a great deal of lag involved in it. And there's some, obviously, depending on what you have set up computer wise and all that, and how the internet is. And I know that occasionally Australia gets their problems with internet.
Yeah.
I've had one person I interviewed. We tried to interview, and the internet would not cooperate for more than 10 seconds at a time. I'm like, if someone ever gave Australia real internet, they'd be rich.
Well, that's the interesting thing,
Yeah,
in my opinion. Australia is known for having some of the worst internet in the world. Like, genuinely, there are worse places off, but
yeah.
Australian internet isn't the best. Even though Australia was the country that first made Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that crazy? That is absolutely crazy. The amount of technology that's come out of there and advancement, you'd think that somebody would set up a decent internet. I mean,
Hopefully, but
yeah, it's just, but I think it's getting better. Obviously, I mean, the interviews I've had recently with folks from there have not had any real problems to it. So, um, if they can survive me, they can survive anything at this point. So
yeah.
what do you have any big plans for your channel coming up this year?
Um, big plans, if anything. Most likely getting an actual VTuber model.
Mm,
That is a big thing that
hmm.
I'm planning.
Yeah.
Um, Later when it comes to birthdays and stuff like that, that is going to be one of my biggest stream events that I've done.
Yeah.
Um, More recently, I was a part of a charity event. This was about a month ago in
Yeah.
April at the beginning of. Wait, no, sorry, not a month ago. In the beginning of March, around then.
Hmm.
Um, I was part of a charity event.
Hmm.
We ended up raising $1,200 in the end,
Cool.
and
That's good news. That's great work.
um, that was a really big event when I did it. Um, Apart from that, nothing super big has popped up yet, but I'm genuinely trying to think of big things I can do later this year.
Yeah. When you go through and you become a part of something that does good like that, um, it really tends to be a wind beneath your wings for a while, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that that charity event was genuinely one of the, like some of the most fun I've had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
and to know you're doing it for good cause, um, it really is a wholesome feeling by the time you're done with it. So once you got started with the VTuber thing, how long did it take for you to get comfortable, or were you comfortable with a microphone already?
for me, at the beginning, I was already fairly comfortable with a microphone, considering I had been playing games online for
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
Um, but my first ever stream, I remember it really clearly. I had set up this like PowerPoint as my whole debut and so like that. I set up this PowerPoint, and within that stream, like I told you, I knew the Velociraptor twins at the time.
Yeah.
Within that first stream, I found out that they had told their community to come and watch my channel during my debut,
Yeah.
and that was a very big surprise. I had people waiting for me.
Oh, oh, that's you've got yourself all built up. Just there's not going to be so many people there. I guess, and then you look and there's numbers, crooked numbers.
And I'm like, how?
There's water in the pool. Who
Uh,
put that there?
exactly. Like, I've met a lot of people. Um, genuinely some of the greatest people I've ever met because of the twins, and even now it still feels like I'm growing every single day when it comes to streaming.
Yeah. What about as far as social interaction goes? Has this helped you in off stream in interpersonal relations as far as getting out there and meeting people and interacting with them?
Genuinely though, it actually kind of has, because before I did the whole streaming thing, wasn't the most talkative person.
Hmm.
Still not the most talkative person, but social life overall has gotten a lot better.
Mm. Yeah, I hear a lot of folks there are folks who are consider themselves kind of wallflowers, or some folks who consider themselves extroverts as well. Uh, get in and find that they can present themselves in a way that they're comfortable, and it seems to carry on to make them more comfortable in person too. Um, and is it a question of being comfortable for you?
I have gotten more comfortable, yeah.
Mm,
Um, Overall with streaming, being able to talk to people and being myself
mm,
has taught me that being yourself in public is just second nature now.
mm,
I am more quiet than I am on stream now. Always have been, but I've genuinely gotten a lot better.
yeah, that's good. It doesn't get easier when you get older. I can tell you that.
No.
But it does. You become a little more confident in yourself. I think when you're like I did with radio because I didn't have to show myself in front of a lot of people, which is good for everybody. Um, but I could be comfortable like I'm talking to somebody one on one. I'm not seeing the eyes that are seeing me, and I can kind of relax and do something like that. And after the years, that does settle in. The fact that you've been able to kind of translate that into your quote unquote real world is a big
Yeah.
plus. I mean, I imagine when you started, you didn't think of anything like that being a plus.
No, I really didn't. Like, last couple of months compared to what my social life was,
Hmm.
1,000 times better. Streaming has genuinely helped a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It sets your priorities too a little bit. I think it because you not only do you get to interact with people online, but when you realize that they're coming back to be with you, um, see what you have to do. You're their entertainment. You're their background music. You're whatever there is. Um, there's a little bit of responsibility that comes with that too, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. It's always the factor of, in my opinion, as long as you're not loud or noisy, people will genuinely find comfort in your streams.
Hmm.
Um, like, oh, some of the streams that I see are genuinely very loud and very noisy sometimes.
Hmm.
I still watch them, but like it's the matter of I wouldn't have them in the background when I'm playing a game or anything.
Yeah, or at work. Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah. Where I work, it would be a very
Um,
bad thing if that happened. Yes.
but for me, it's just the factor of I try and during the time when I stream, usually it's closer to midnight.
Yeah.
So in the first place, I kind of have to stay more quiet.
Yeah. We don't want to wake up everybody else in the neighborhood and house and all that.
Ex- exactly.
Oh, I just had a flower pot thrown at me. Everything is fine, and don't worry about it.
uh,
It happens when you're married too. Um, Oops, just had a flower pot thrown at me. Everything's fine. Just normal.
uh,
But she's gonna get me for that one if she hears that. That it's you get to create basically a world for yourself and present yourself the way you want to be presented. Have you found that happy medium now?
I definitely have. Like, for me, I try not to hide as much as some people, but for me, streaming, being a VTuber mainly in general, originally didn't really like showing my face on anything.
Hmm.
Still don't.
Yeah.
And then in general, like I knew what VTubers were before I started streaming.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, and then PNG tubers being a cheaper version of streaming as a VTuber,
Mm.
that was something that surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, but as someone who isn't a VTuber, I'm not going to be one because I'm not a video person. I'm an audio person. I'm the guy that video tried to kill. I'm the radio star guy. But the seeing that there try to be a difference, I would think that doing the PNG stuff gives you the opportunity to train yourself and your voice to be more expressive. in trying to get across what you're doing, because you don't necessarily have the flow and the hands and everything else to work with, but people are still drawn to the voice. And then once you translate that over onto a more movable avatar or model, then you've got a lot of things going for you. You're ahead of the game.
The big thing with being a PNG tuber that I've realized is people are definitely drawn to the voice.
Hmm.
And the way that you can show yourself being upset or something on stream, if you want to seem upset or you want to seem annoyed or you want to express yourself, if you want to express yourself, you tend to have to like use your voice, use different tones of voice
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
for that. And then VTubers, they have like the hands, the movable hands and stuff like that.
Right, right, and that's again, your experience may vary with that, considering how expressive the hands and the face are. I mean, you and I both have seen some people with extremely expressive face work, and some folks who aren't, and you still get kind of the same. If you can get the same type of reaction yourself from what they're doing, it means that they're doing a good level on the basic level of getting that across. Um, Old radio programs, way back in the 1800s, used to be able to give you a really good mental picture of what's going on by the use of sounds and inflections and that sort of thing. Really gets the imagination going. Um, I would think that anyone starting off really would need to start off as a PNG tuber to kind of get their foot in their toe in to see how they like it. Not just because of the cost, but because they learn as they go. Do you see that happening?
I definitely do, with the exception of I do know some people. Um, I am going to mention the same people that the twins did during their interview. Nana and Ruru. They were they didn't start with PNG tubers, they went straight to models
Mm,
when they debuted.
yeah.
Um that is if you're able to do that, if you have the funds to do that, sure, go ahead. But having a PNG tuber is a very inexpensive or almost free way to do things.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I think that it's a with the level of folks we have doing this now, from the people in the giant corporations, or as we've seen here recently, leaving the giant corporations, and
Yogoro, yeah.
and that hit some people a little low there. Sorry about that. To people who are just getting started, there's such a giant variety of people. But the thing that draws me to doing these interviews and talking with folks is the extreme variety that people of experiences people have, and wants and needs and talents that this medium brings out is fascinating to me. And it's going to be a long time, I think, before we really reach a ceiling as far as this goes. Um, are there different types of streams you'd like to do, but just haven't gotten around to figuring out how to do it yet?
For me, I a plan that I have, maybe these are plans I plan on trying to do
Mm-hmm.
on my big birthday stream, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I do that, I'm planning on doing a cooking segment when
Oh,
I try and do a cooking stream because there are a few cooking VTubers.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So what do you cook? What's your specialty?
um, for me, it's just like something like curry sausages, maybe pea and ham soup, something like that.
Well, you got
I
me beat. I can do burnt toast.
let's go. That
I
would be amazing.
actually, when I was a young person, actually managed to set fire to two toasters in 2 days. That's pretty good. Burned out both toasters in 2 days. That was pretty amazing. Um, took
Well, you have me beat on that record. I've only blown up one toaster.
there you go. I mean, you're on the way. you're on the way to getting there. That some people are very, and it's something too that we're going to be able to figure out is people's recipes. Um, I think better than the Food Network type stuff, which is that's nice and all, but I want to see somebody actually doing it live in person, ask them questions as they're doing it. Um, this really, again, this really sets up a great way for people to find out, and maybe maybe you'll be doing the soup, and somebody will give you an idea for it.
That's a big thing that I'm hoping will happen. Like I I want to do a cooking stream. It's something that I've thought about doing for years, mainly because I have a lot of inspiration
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to VTubing, mainly being big ones like Iron Mouse, Onigiri,
Mm-hmm.
um, people like that I've been watching for years
Right.
since before the big boom of VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's been it, I don't 100% know how I'm going to do it, but it's the factor of I'm willing to try.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It's also a question of getting it set up right.
yeah,
Yeah. Just kind of just occasionally show the dish as it's being done. You'd want to be able to still kind of maintain that anonymity a little bit while you're doing it, but still show how it's done. It does take a
yeah,
little bit of working through there. Probably a few test streams in your future between now and then.
yep, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, it would be heating up pasta in the microwave, which which would make so many people angry. You can't make pasta in the microwave.
uh,
Yeah, well, I was a bachelor for 43 years. That's what I did and still do. And using my air fryer until I have to clean it out, and then I have to just get a new one.
oh, that one's relatable.
Oh man, is there anything better for like chicken nuggets than air fryers?
I don't know. I haven't had chicken nuggets in the oven
Mm,
for like a good couple of years since I've gotten my air fryer.
yeah, I
Like
it just comes out perfect for some reason.
the only problem I have is with some air fryers. Sometimes they get a little bit soggy on the bottom, but that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. French fries are still pretty good if you get the right ones. Um, and one thing that works, I don't know, I'm not even sure that they have these in Australia or not, or the same type, but hot pockets. You talk about something that's
We
absolutely perfect in an air fryer is hot pockets.
we have hot pockets in Australia, but they are we don't have the whole brand name.
Ah,
We we the closest thing we have is like supermarket brands,
yeah, yeah.
and then the only other big American thing we have is like pizza rolls,
Oh, yeah.
Totino's.
Well, of course, you have to have pizza rolls. That's like one of the main food
Um,
groups.
when you said fries a second ago, my brain was like, "Wait, what a fry? Wait, fries?" And then I was like, "Oh, we call them chips here."
That's right. That's right. I've got to remember. I got to remember that outside the U.S., it's not called fries. It's called chips. But again, we have the different types. The thin ones, the crinkled ones, steak ones. I like the smaller ones in the air fryer. Tends to work a little better. Um, but anyway, I'm waiting to see now. Now, not only have you made me hungry, but I want to see what you're going to be doing with this stuff.
Uh,
No pressure. We'll hype you up as cook of the year coming up, and then we'll get you to stream.
Rooster Cook of the Year? Yes.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So, when you got started and you started meeting some other people, and you were already comfortable with a microphone from gaming. When you started getting a chat going and an audience, um, was it easy for you to interact with them and still keep the stream going, or was it a question of trying to figure out the right balance between the game and the chat?
For me, usually what I do, if it's a fast-paced game, I usually tend to try and do the level that I'm on,
Mm-hmm.
and then talk to chat for a little bit, and then go back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something easy, I'll just take a quick look at chat and then answer.
Yeah.
But for me, when I was originally with like my first stream, they chat was the thing. Like, I wasn't nervous about the actual streaming part.
Yeah.
The thing that got me nervous was seeing people talk.
These people from the void are talking to you.
Exactly, like that got me so nervous, and it was really funny to me.
It's like, what did they mean by that? What do they mean by hello? And,
people from the other side of the world talking to me?
Yeah. Why? I understand that completely. Absolutely. Even now, after all these years, I understand it. Well, I'll tell you this. It's an absolute pleasure talking with you. We're going to have all of the links that we've been able to find for you on the description for the video. Folks, keep an eye on Rockyroosterboy, because there's a lot of stuff coming, a lot of interesting stuff coming from him, and not only that, but Australia in general as far as VTubing goes. And we've interviewed a lot of folks from there. We're going to keep doing it, and I want to keep up with you too. So please let me know if you got some big stuff coming up, and we'll do some updates with you, and we'll get you on again before the end of the year and find out what's up with you, Rocky.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.